Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Paper Happenicity with Monica. I'll just grab my chair. Sorry for the noise. So my name's Monica Formosa. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the YB area of Queensland on the east coast of Australia. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and that means that the products that I show you today and demonstrate with you today are available from my online store, and you can I'll link that in the description box underneath this video if you click on more, and you might need to click on that highlighted more again, and all the links will be there. Now this is a special request. The lovely Terry has asked me if I would do a video on how to create some cards that I did using the Beautiful Blues kit. Now this is an all-exclusive kit. It comes with everything you need to create these 9 cards, and it includes your envelopes. It also comes with some gems, nice and sparkly. A Stampin' Spot in Night of Navy, so you don't need any ink pads. It's all there for you. You get some tape, double-sided tape, and actually a stamp block. Now this isn't a full size stamp block. It doesn't have the ergonomic little grips that come with the regular stamp blocks. Let me get one. I'll just grab one from my... So the regular ones have these lovely, I don't know whether you can see that, but it has this lovely like indent here for an easy grip. I absolutely love these stamp blocks. I will say that prior to, this was one of my first purchases as a demonstrator. I had lots of blocks, and they were never really as good as these ones. Yeah, 5 gold stars for these. But anyway, I digress. You have this simpler version, which will get you out of a pickle if you don't have any other supplies. You also get your stamps included. I've used mine, as you can see. It comes on this clear acetate, and that's just the little bit that you can use for your stamps. They go like this. You can actually cut that out and attach that, or keep them together in a container somewhere. You get an instruction sheet which shows you how to create these 9 cards as they are, and it tells you all the parts that you need for each particular card. Okay, so easy to follow instructions. However, I don't like to follow instructions. Not all the time, some of the time. And I thought that I would just grab this kit and run with some alternative designs. Now, I'll show you my cards. The first card actually uses 2 of the envelope flaps, and I've trimmed them down to create a card front. To hide the join, there is a join under there. To hide the join, I've used white ribbon. Now that ribbon is, I'll go through all this again. That ribbon is the, it doesn't even tell me. What ribbon is this? It's just saying white ribbon. But any coordinating ribbon, I chose white because it was a lovely contrast, and there is a tiny little mat underneath my label. Now on the inside of my card, what I did is, because I've used the envelopes here, this is actually the front of the envelope. So nothing extra except for the card base and this Night of Navy matte layer and the ribbon. I haven't got any gems on there. you can either use these ones, or you can find something in your stash that will also coordinate. And remember, I looked through all mine and I thought the pearls would look nice, and then I discovered these ones which have a little bit of blue in them. These are also the antique pearls, but if you're not sure about the white pearls, get out your stamping blends and you can color them. Like this guy here, I was showing someone in class last week that you can color your pearls if it's not the right color. Same with these guys, you know, like get out your Stampin' Blends, and if it's not the color you want, you can color with your blends. You can't use your Stampin' Right markers because the color, like they are water based, and the color will just rub off eventually, and probably make a little bit of a mess. But the Stampin' Right markers are alcohol based, so they will permanently color something in. Okay, now this guy is a Z fold. Okay, now this uses one card front, and then also this is the inside of the envelope again. This is the front. All right, so this is the front of the envelope, and the white background here is actually the back of the envelope that's been trimmed down, and these lovely die cuts here are actually part of the kit. And then I've gone and heat bossed a sentiment and just placed it along the bottom there. I haven't added gems, but you know, I haven't gotten that far. And then the last one's a little bit more fiddly. It reminds me of a kitchen tile. Oh yeah, kitchen tiles. So this uses the white card front, and these squares measure, I think, 1 3/8 by 1 3/8, and then piece of Knight of Navy with a heat embossed sentiment. I'm going to use the same Sending Love as this one in my video, but you can use anything really. You don't have to use what was included in the kit. I've just used those because I want to show you that you can create other things with your kits, not just what is shown in the instructions. Okay, alrighty. Now I do need a a blending brush, because and I need my ink for some of these, for the Z fold card. Okay, now I can't show you all the bits and pieces all attached, because what I've gone and done is I've actually trimmed all these down. Now these are other bits and pieces. You've got this lovely laser cut piece here. If you don't want to use the white, very gently, you can flip it over and do something with the white side. If you don't want the blue, you can flip it over and do something with the white. And these are all my cards that I have trimmed down. So the white one comes with, I will just move that over here. The white one comes attached like this, and I have separated those. So along with your envelopes, you've also got these pieces that you can use on the insides of your cards, or you can use this and create a lovely card like this, which would be beautiful. Okay, let me see, what have I got here? These pieces come actually together, front and back, have the same design. So these come, oh, hang on a moment, this way. The fold, I can feel the fold there. So they come together as a card like that, and I split those, and we'll be using one of those. And then this one comes like that, and then this is supposed to, in the kit, this is how this is supposed to come together. But I didn't, like, honestly, this really does nothing for me, this blue on blue. So I'm about to work out a different version, whether I go white. I have seen, if anyone here follows Rachel Tessman from Stamp Your Art Out, she has done actually a video on other alternatives that you can create with this kit. And that is where I got the inspiration for this one. She did something very similar. Okay, so that's the cards that you get. It also comes with these lovely pop outs or die cuts. So I think you get 3 sets of these, maybe 3, and then you get the white ones, and then you also get the blue ones. And we will be using those. Labels, you always get more labels than what is needed, because we always have little boo-boos. And then whatever you don't use in your card making, you can use somewhere else. So you get quite a few of these. I think there's 4 of each one. And the kit makes up 9 cards as it is. So I've used these larger ones here. And then the envelopes, I'll try and okay, so these are the flaps. Okay, our flaps. I think there's another one there. So you would get 9 envelopes altogether, so there'd be 9 flaps. This is the front of the envelopes, and all I've done, I'll see if I can get, just bear with me. I'll show you on one of the Stampin' Up regular envelopes how I've trimmed this up. And then this is the back of the envelope. As you can see, this is the back of it, and we can trim those down. I've just trimmed the straight edges and given them all straight edges, and we can trim them down to however we want to use them. Now, to trim your envelopes, all I did was, let me see if I can bring this down here. I put this slightly over the edge, and you're taking off just the smallest amount. Look, I'm lining it up with the edge of the brown that's there. All right, and that will let you fold this out. I've then gone and lined up that school line. I might actually go this way, might be a bit easier. I've lined up that school line with my track, and that will give you your flap. Now, to trim this bit down, you can either go to where it starts curving around, let me go this way. And that will give you like this slightly curved edge here, but if you put two back to back and with the ribbon across the front, that's not gonna, it's all part of the design, like honestly. All right, and then this one, I basically, so that's the front section, and then for this one I went in to where the deepest part of that curve is, and then all I did is trim off this bit here where it's glued, and that will give you, oh, it's getting caught there. I mean, you could just leave it as is and then decide later on how you want to trim it down. You do have these sections under here, just remember that. But once, and like these are a bit thinner than the kit envelope, so you can see through that. But you know, if you were to trim those off, it'll make a layer that you can write your messages on, or anything really. It just saves you using, because you've got when you cut up your envelopes, you're going to have these pieces left over, so you may as well use them up somehow when you're creating your cards. Okay, so we're actually going to be making this one first. Now I do have instructions here, guys, and I'm going to pull it out here. And I've got the light coming in there, of course I have, because it's that time of the day. All right, so card number 1. Can you see that on the screen? I hope you can. And if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, I'll leave that there for a moment, and I'll find all my bits and pieces here. This one. I might just find this. Okay, so if anyone wants me to email them a copy of this, please message me. My details are in the description box below, my email address. So if you'd like a copy of this, I can email that to you. All right, so I have a Night of Navy card base. That is for the inside, and I've done all my stamping beforehand just to save a little bit of time. There's our 2 envelope flaps that we're going to use. Okay, I need to find my paper trimmer. Now I need to cut this down to, we're going landscape, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. The centimeters were there. I don't work in centimeters, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. And then we're going to glue that to the inside. Now that is 1/8 of an inch smaller than my card base, and that's how I do my layers. I normally go down in 1/8 of inches. I need my glue. Come out, please. And we will just stick that in. Go sparingly with your glue, because this isn't cardstock, so it's not as thick, so that glue might show up. Oh, I should have told you how big this was. All right, so we've got a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5. And then it was scored along the 8.5 side at 4.25. Okay, now I'm going to I've got this spare sheet, like this scrap of basic white here, and I'm going to use this just to put these on because they are a little bit flimsy. All right, so and that's because I'm wrapping ribbon around it. I just want it to be a little bit sturdier. Gives it a little bit more stability, and I might just grab my silicone mat just for a little bit of protection from the glue. I'll trim these down. And we're going to go this way. Now, it doesn't have to be too special because the ribbon will cover that up. Okay, that my snips. All right. And my ribbon. Oh my word, guys. I normally don't do 3 cards in a video, so it's quite daunting actually. And if you want to fast forward, by all means, I will not be offended. Have I got my glue dots somewhere? I most certainly do. Okay. So we have this cute little bow. And I'll get a glue dot and I'm just going to put that there. Oh, I didn't want you to stick just yet. Okay. And I might just put another glue dot under here where the sentiment will go. Kind of won't see that join, hopefully. That. All right, that will do. Oh no, guys, I bloomin' forgot to undo it, didn't I? Cut it, trim it. Let's try that again. This one won't be as cute. Of course not. Anyway, that's what happens. Just keeping it real, guys. Just keeping it real. Oh, and these aren't as sharp as what they should be either. Okay. All right. So there's my ribbon. We're going to glue this on this way. I am a very messy crafter, but once I finish crafting, I like to put everything away where it belongs. Oops, sorry, I just hit my camera. All right, now that just fits that way. I need to grab a little bit of Night of Navy. And you just need a scrap for this. Do I have a, I'll have a scrap, absolutely. Here we go. We're going to glue that on. Whoops. The sun's really coming in there. And it's annoying. All right, so equal. Can I do this? I really don't think I could cut a straight line if I even if I wanted to half the time. All right, dimensionals on the back of that. Dimensionals. Put as many or as little as you like. Tuck that in. And there's our first card. Oh, you also get a little packet of dimensionals as well. So you don't need, you really have got everything you need. All right, I'm not quite sure where I'm putting these. Oh. Let's go here. Oh. Let's go up here. And let's go down here. Kind of like it over there. Get that triangle happening. I'm not quite happy with that one up there, but that's okay. I know, I'm going to shift this one. Ooh, maybe not. No, it's there. All right, that's it. All right, and the inside, if you wanted to, you could decorate the inside somehow. You do have this, where's my kit? In the stamp set, you have this leaf stamp. You could actually stamp the corner top and bottom if you wanted to. That would be an option for the inside if you wanted to, or you can just leave it plain, but that's it. There's our first card. Thanks, guys. Huh. Right. I'm just going to tidy up here a little bit. Number one. Okay, our second card I'm going to do is the Z fold. Okay, so for this one, from the kit, you're going to need one of the blue cards, one half of the blue cards, which is this one. You need the front section of an envelope. You will need the back section of the envelope, and that is for the background here. What else have we got here? You will need, if I can get these out without, one of the large floral pop-outs, and then one each of the blue or the navy and the white pop-outs. You'll need your stamp set for the sentiment, your Night of Navy. Either use your stamp, your, oh no, we're going to, you don't need Night of Navy. Versamark, because we're heat embossing, and I've already done that just to try and save a little bit of time. All right, heat embossing, we're sending love. This is our card base, and this is for the front panel. That's the extra bits. All right, so did you guys get a screenshot of that? I will, once again, happily email the whole file if you would like me to, and if you can just send me a message or an email, I can do that, include that. All right, so I'm going to put that up there because I'm going to need that. I'll just put that away. Okay, card base. This card base, to make it easier, oh, and I do have centimeters written down on here, but I don't work in centimeters. I just thought if those, for those people that prefer centimeters, I actually went and worked out what we needed. Okay, so this will easily come out of half a sheet of A4, and it should also come out of a sheet of the US size, letter size, if that's what it is. Let me see. So that's, yes, you'll get 2 because that's 5.5. So that's 5.5, and this is 8 because we need to score it in half. So we're scoring it in half at 4. And then we're scoring that half again, which is 6. And then that is your 8-inch card. Just so it's easier and quick when you're measuring out all your layers. Okay, so to do the Z fold, I'm sure you all know we fold it in half and then fold this one back, bone folder, and we will just create that. I haven't cut that too well. Let me see. I might just, it'll just make it a little bit, I'm not sure. 8. Yeah, it's this top corner that's not right, so I'm not going to mess with that. All right, where's my little kit? All my bits and pieces. So for this one, we're going to cut this one in half and glue that down. Now it is a bit longer, so we're going to decide which end we're going to trim that off, and I might do this bottom end. I think I kind of like all those florals happening up there. Okay, so these pieces are 1 7/8. Or I might just trim it off the bottom first. Might make it easy for myself. 5 3/8 because it's 5.5. Yes, 5 3/8. So I've just gone down 1/8 of an inch, which is my preferred layer. And we're going to go in 1 7/8, which is 1/8 of an inch off my 2 inches. And again, 1 7/8. And then you're left with this strip of blue that you can use somewhere else. All right, so these bits go here. This bit, I need the white, this is the front of the envelope. So I need 3 7/8. By 5 3/8. Okay, and that's going to go here. like this. Now, a little tiny, teeny tiny 1/16 of an inch is my preferred border. If you're not comfortable with that, I want you to use whatever measurements you're happy with. You know, you might prefer 1/4 of an inch, which will give you an 1/8 of an inch border. It's all about creating for your personal taste. Now, if you wanted to, we could go, let's go this way this time. Although we're going to hide all these pretty florals. Oh. No, no, I think I'll go the way I had it. Let's go this way. All right. Don't know why I put the lid on again, because I'm gonna need it in a moment. Okay. And we've got this section. All right, so there's, and I'm just going to get my bone folder and just quietly persuade it just to go where I want it to go. Okay, now for the front here, we're going to trim this bit down. What am I doing here? The back section needs to be trimmed to 2 3/8. I don't know whether you can see that. 2 3/8 by 3 7/8, but I want to take those bits off there. So let me three and 7/8. And that just gets rid of that extra level of paper that's underneath there. And before I glue that on, I want to get a little bit of Night of Navy ink. Oops, no. And I want to just add a little bit of colour. So go gently, and we're going to add just a hint of colour. Oops, more towards the top, because the bottom is going to be pretty much all covered. All right. Should I go a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Bit of colour. Now, let's glue all this together. Now, I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to go. I think. And then goes this way, I think. Or does it go? Yeah, this way. And we'll put the white on top. So a little bit of glue, and this is how they put it together in the kit. Oops. And then we kind of trying to get a little bit of contrast there happening. And I have just glued, where's my card? I'm pretty sure I just glued that down. Yeah, there's no dimensionals or anything under that. So that's just flat. If you wanted to, you could add a few dimensionals. I just felt it was a little bit too delicate and I just wanted to give it a little bit of stability. Not exactly the same. Oh no, I wanted to go up a bit because I got to put my sending love across the bottom. So let's do that. Sending love. And I will trim that off. And now we're going to glue this on here. But when you glue it on, only glue it on this section. Don't go over the whole lot because you'll end up gluing your card shut. Ask me how I know. Okay, so there we go. Just hold it there for a moment. We're going to add a few gems because we can. I'm a little disappointed that these aren't a little more not quite sure where to go here. A little more, just wondering whether I can just go off the page here. Just a little. There we go. All right. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit more ribbon or twine or something just to ground it a bit. But yeah. And there's our Z fold. Ooh, 2 down. Lucky last. You still with me, guys? I hope you're having fun. I'm not sure I am. It's a little bit stressful here. Anyway, that's all right. We're getting there. Last one, lucky last. This is the like the tile card. I'm sure there's a fancy name for it somewhere out there. Okay, I'll leave this here and go through it. You can I'll put it on this side so you don't get the sun. From the kit, you're going to need. Where's all my bits and pieces? Here we go. Now this card is actually not very efficient with your cardstock because we've taken a card front and kind of expanded it. If you have the Memories and More cards and envelopes, you could easily, well, it might be better using those, and I will show you in a moment. But for this one, you're going to need the white card base, that front half. You can either use the front of the envelope or the other side of this. your stamp set, and your embellishments. That's all you need from the kit. And then for extra, you need a card base. Now this measures 5 7/8 by 4 1/2. So that doesn't make sense. 5 7/8. That's not right. That measurement there should be 9, guys. Let me. Four and a half is 9 inches. All right, so 5 7/8 by 9, and then we're going to score it. You need a strip for your sentiment, which I've already done. I've heat embossed in white, which I've already done, and that measures roughly 4 1/2 and by 1/2 inch. Now I've made that longer than what I need because I will trim that down to what I want. You'll need your Versamark, you'll need your adhesives, you'll need your heat tool for your heat embossing, and your paper trimmer to do all the cutting. Okay, so for this card base, I will give you a really big hint here. What I actually did and what I found easier is I actually made my card base larger than what I wanted. And then once I glued down all my squares, I actually trimmed it. Okay, so I've cut this to 9 1/4. So that's roughly 4 5/8 or something, is about halfway. And I'm going to score that. Maybe that doesn't look right, but oh, I did. All right. And that's actually longer than what I need. I think I went to 6 inches. Okay, so let me just burnish that with my, I'm just going to take that away. Oh. Burnish that with my bone folder. A little bit of gentle persuasion. Now, what do I do with it? This bit, the closest I could get was 1 3/8 for these. I'm just going to see if I can, no, I don't know whether I can trim that. I'm a bit wary. Let me just take a slither off there because that's where the fold was. Now, start from this end where you have most of the pattern, and start from this end, this top bit where you have most of the pattern. So I'm going to cut strips 1 3/8. Get you out of the sun. 1 2 3. 1 3/8, and we're going to cut. 1 2 3/8. 1 2 3/8. Okay. I'm not even going to attempt to cut them all together at the same time because I want it to be as accurate as I can, and that just scares me. So let's go bit by bit. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. And I think, if memory serves me right, this isn't quite 1 3/8, but the naked eye is not going to pick that up. All right, so we're going to go over here and put our jigsaw puzzle together. All right, 1 3/8. We're going to do that with all of these, all 3 strips. 3/8. Now it's very important that you try and get these cuts as accurate as you can. Oops, 1, 2, 3/8. And last cut. Okay. There we go. We don't need that anymore. We need our card base. And I'm going to lay it out like this. Now, there's no easy way of doing this. If you've got all your bits and pieces laid out, how they need to be stuck down, that's about as easy as I can make it for you. Okay, where's my original card? So, no, to the fold, all right? We need to put the fold. We're starting at the top. And we're just gluing these down with an equal distance between each square. If you use liquid glue, it will give you a little bit of wriggle time. But just use whatever you're comfortable with using. We're here to have fun, not make it harder for ourselves or uncomfortable. Okay. All right, so like I said, I've made this a little bit longer, and what I'm going to do, I'll actually trim that off. How's the weather at your place, guys? And I also want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. It's absolutely wonderful having you here. Please do say hello and introduce yourselves. I love meeting new friends. Also, thank you to all my regular viewers. I enjoy having you guys too. I appreciate the time that you're putting aside for this little video. Well, it's not little. It won't be little by the time I'm finished. I'm not timing myself, but we've been going a little while. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any crafty friends that you think might enjoy what I've created today, please do share with your friends. There's also an option of sharing this to Pinterest. If you have a Pinterest board that you might like to pin it to. And last but not least, a lovely little thumbs up goes a long way to support my little papercraft business. It just lets YouTube know that you found it interesting and that other people might find it interesting as well. All right, so now we're going to trim this. Hold your breath, everyone. I think I'm not gonna, I could have went a little bit more, I think. Oh, All right, so when you want to trim the tiniest of slithers, pick up your this bit here. I don't know the technical word for it at the moment. Get your cutting blade and put it into the cardstock and go up and down, and then that will give you, well, yeah, shouldn't have done that. And I might just need to get my snips, my scissors, my big scissors. Just showed you what not to do. I think my blade needs a bit of a trim somehow. All right, and then this way. I'm not sure how to go this way. Okay. I would like to go a little bit closer, but I'm a bit worried that after my last attempt, there we go, that's better. Okay, that bottom edge is not quite straight, so obviously I've gone a little bit crooked somewhere. Oh, and I need to do that edge as well, because yeah, okie doke. There's our card. So last thing is putting our sentiment on, and I kind of went with my sentiment into this white space here that's underneath. All right, so I'm just going to, you should see the mess. Guys, can someone please send the fairies around to help me tidy up? So that's what I'm going to do there, and I'm going to add that on with, attach that with dimensionals, and once again we're going to add a few, because if you post it in the mail, 2 reasons. Post in the mail, you don't want it to get there. You want it to get there all in one piece. Oh, excuse me, and not have the saggy bits happening, because that's the second reason we don't like saggy bits. There comes a point in your life where you don't like that. There we go. To finish, oh, we haven't done the inside, guys. Where did I put that piece? Is that trimmed down? That's not trimmed. I need, or is it? No, I need to just trim that a little bit more. That's not exactly where I need it to be. So let me measure what this is here. This is not quite 4.5. And this is just over 5 3/4. I think that bit was fine. What did I say? 4 3/8. 4 3/8. Let's go down. I might go down that much. And then I might just come in and go off maybe 1/8 of an inch off this side. And we can glue that in. That all lines up. Now this actual insert has got a little bit wider border. I think this is a full 1/8 of an inch, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller on your 2 sides than your card base front. All right, so there's that, and there's that. Gems. Can I find the gems amongst all this? Oh, please. Yes, there you are. Goodness me. All right. Gems. Where am I going to put these? I kind of want to just put these down along the bottom. Just adds to the whole boxiness that's going on. Might not be your thing. And I don't know whether I like that or not. I think one needs to be on this side for a little bit of, but then that's going to do my head in because it's not all, they aren't all together, and I've just pulled the backing off that gem. Here, can I persuade you to move over a bit? Yes, I can. Come on. And then, yeah. I think this one needs to, oh. See if this one will come off just as easy. No. But I might. Oh, it did. You can be lucky sometimes. There we go. All right, and I think I've got a little bit of glue there. So let's, yeah, there we go. All right, that's not straight, I don't think. All right, guys. I hope you have enjoyed that. Thank you so much for hanging around and watching. Please do watch this on double speed if you need to. But I do appreciate everyone's time. And yes, please do send the cleaning fairies around because I have got a huge mess. 3 cards, and I normally don't do 3 cards. It's normally only 1. All right, let me bring in our projects for today. We have got not that one because that's the one I did. Okay, so we've got number 3, number 2, and number 1. All right, this one uses our envelope flaps, and then the front of the envelope on the inside. This one uses one side of the darker card, and then this is also the front of the envelope, and then behind, like the white behind here, is part of the envelope as well. This one uses the white card, which has been trimmed down into squares measuring 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. Just a reminder, I do have instructions if you're interested in receiving the instructions. Please let me know. My details are in the description box below, and I will happily send them out. Yeah, so that's it from me for today. You have a great day wherever you are. And I do have another couple of videos coming out this week. So stay tuned, I guess. And please do say hello. All right. Bye for now and catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.